Hi everybody, Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. If you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, maybe become a channel member. You know all that good stuff. Let me just move my camera down a little bit. I hope it's sunny, snowy, rainy, haily, windy. Put any word in there, it will change in 10 minutes. Hornchurch has had snow, had hail, had sun, had rain. We've had the lot. Anyway, I hope you are safe and well. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Well done, another week gone. Weekend coming up, and obviously Everton on Sunday. Back to proper football, none of that international rubbish. Just to mark your card, as I said, last night we had a Julian Dicks appreciation night. It was good fun with Nigel and Martin. Check that out. It's a couple of hours long. We've actually got an exclusive interview from Julian, which was done in 2006. Martin went over to Spain and recorded it. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and we're going to be putting that out on the channel in the next week or so. So make sure you check that out. It's really, really good. It's when Julian was basically trying to become a professional golfer. So it was when he was in Spain and stuff like that. So check that. It's going to be very, very good when it comes out. The only way you know it's going to come out is if you hit that bell notification, so you know when we put it out, because it won't be normal time. We'll just put it out there. That makes sense. We'll have Hammers headlines at 5 o'clock tonight. We may well have the presser as well today, in line of the Everton game. If you are going to the Everton game on Sunday, get a little bit early and pop along to Foyles and see Tony Carr, who's doing his book signing at Foyles in Westfield from 12 o'clock. If not, if you're around in the Newham area tomorrow, 2 p.m, the bookstore, he'll be there at Newham Bookshop, and then pop into the bowling for a quick swift off. Why not? There's your Saturday sorted. I'm meant to be going Southend. That'd be fun. Let's see what we've got in the chat, and then we'll talk about this loophole. And it's not an April Fool's joke either. We're past 12 o'clock in the UK, so I would be a fool if it was. Good afternoon, Happy Hamerettes. Hope you're well. Excited as me soon be watching our beloved West Ham again. And thankfully, Manuel Lanzini walked away from his Mercedes being turned over unbelievably yesterday on the way to the training. So involved in a horrible car crash by all accounts, but he walked away safely. Buffalo Snow, hope you're well. Matt Foster, wonder what this loophole is all about. I hope it's not one of those things we have to let Lyon win kind of fiascos. It'll be about, or it could well be fresh. Lee, hope you're well. It did snow. It snowed here, didn't it? We had hail. We had walk flow to school, and within me walking down to school, we had sunshine, snow, and hail. Well done. Afternoon, Neil. Hope your Adam's in the house as well. Gaz is in. Good evening, Gaz. Good afternoon, rather. We've got Rob. Peaches in the house. Ludders is here. Oh, it's the whole gang. The whole gang's here. Ozzy's here. The World Cup draw is tonight at 6. I think it's afternoon, 6 o'clock UK time, in it, something like that. Darren's hazing human it. Well, of course it would be where you are in Thailand, mate. I'm seeing some unreal rumours on Twitter. Lingard, Areola, Phillips, Calvert-Lewin. We spoke about Calvert-Lewin yesterday. I think that's got legs. I really do, and we'll see. We'll have as I said, on the Hammers headlines tonight, we'll have the latest of Bowen and Soufal. We've got some news about Conor Coventry and a potential coming in to replace him, and also a rumour about a definite Antonio 2.0. He really is potentially coming in, so make sure you check that. Michael's in. Good evening, good afternoon, hash time, hope you're well. Marina, good vibes to you too. Thunder and Joy is in. God, we're all here. In the words of Crowded House, like 4 seasons in one day. It really, really was. Just like the pizza. Jay's in. Dabs is in. I woke up reading a lot of false information about West Ham because of April Fools. Exactly. Don't bother reading it until after 12. And they're the 4 if they keep it up, isn't it? That's the way it goes. How long before football goes bust? Well, hopefully not, Marina. Hopefully not. Just walked through a hailstorm. I think this window will be a busy one with the World Cup eating up negotiation time in the January window. I think so. And I think a lot of players will want their futures sorted as soon as possible to give them the best chance to get into squads. There was talk about Vlasic maybe going to get game time to get into the Croatian side. I don't know. There's going to be lots of that happening. Anyway, let's talk about this loophole. So yesterday on the Hammers headlines, I've got to find this guy, and I always forget this bloke's name. There I was saying, they've had injury crisis, at Lyon, and their midfielder ever present Maxience Caquieta. We're all friends, was potentially out for a prolonged period of time. And he's played every game this season in all competitions, and he's out. Definitely against Angers on Sunday, but potentially Thursday and beyond. They're putting together this sort of contingent to sort of work around the fact that he's not playing, which to me suggests a long injury. But. There was confusion today as a UEFA rule change appears to state that Lyon's sort of FIFA loophole signing Tete can play against West Ham next week. So Tete was one of several people we were linked with. We were looking at in terms of Shakhtar Donetsk. Him and David Neres and Traore, who was injured though, and was it? Oh, it's Kakare. Thank you, Fresh. You're always here. Kakare. So we were looking at him amongst others, and we had discussions with Shakhtar Donetsk about getting these guys in on loan, but the Premier League kiboshed everything basically and said that for the integrity of competition, they wouldn't let anyone come in at this late stage. Wolves had agreed to get Victor Moses in from Lokomotiv Moscow or CSKA, one of the Moscow sides, and that was, again, they didn't allow that in to sort of keep the integrity of the league. And also there were several other leagues, I think, around the world where they haven't allowed Ukrainian or Russian based players into their league. I think La Liga's one which has allowed it, and Ligue 1 as well, and Tete. So they signed Tete yesterday or the day before yesterday, something like that. And last night, Lyon, by signing Tete, may have thrown a rather talented spanner in the works. They were planning to utilise the UEFA loophole to get signings in and make signings before the West Ham clash, not necessarily to do the West Ham clash, but before the West Ham clash. The deadline for the this sort of new window was April the 7th, which was basically the day of the West Ham clash with Lyon next Thursday. And obviously FIFA confirmed this 1 month window to allow foreign players from clubs in Ukraine and Russia to move as a result of obviously the invasion of Ukraine. But they said, the Premier League basically said, no, we're not having anyone, but it doesn't appear that UEFA have had such concerns when it comes to the European competitions, because it appears that after signing Tete, the French club can play him in the last 8 clash against West Ham. And you remember there was this time, remember when we sold Haller and Ajax forgot to sign it, put him in the squad for the group stage, and he famously wasn't in the squad, and then he was allowed to go back in for the knockout stages. That's what they sort of have always done. They got rid of the cup-tied rule as well, so people like Martial could obviously play when we played Sevilla and stuff like that. But and obviously with the sort of the new 1 month window, there was confusion as to what was going to happen. But according to reports in Goal, it does say European clubs have been granted permission to register 2 more players signed from Russia or Ukrainian clubs to their squads for the UEFA competitions, whether that is obviously Champions League, Europa League, or the Europa Conference League. They had up until the deadline of today to be able to do that. So by all accounts, and I think UEFA put on their website. There he is. He doesn't look happy. They've got 2 players who play for Tete, called Tete now. So UEFA on their website said that UEFA Executive Committee today decided to amend the regulations of the 21-22 UEFA Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League, and to allow clubs to register a maximum of 2 eligible players for the remaining matches in the competition by the 1st of January 2020 at the latest. And so, obviously Tete's a very talented midfielder, very talented winger, and someone that many people wanted us to have a look at before basically the directive from the Premier League came down for us not to sign anyone. And we shall see what happens, but just adds a little bit of spice, doesn't it? Adds a little bit of spice to next week now. So Indeed. So I thought it'd be interesting because obviously, it's where I was saying, they've got so many injuries. It's like, oh, you bastards! They've thrown this sort of this spanner in the works, but they've taken advantage of it. And I personally don't see the fairness. But anyway, because although you either do one way or another, everyone can do it or no one can do it. Do you know what I mean? Now having it where because we could have played a German club, for example, and Germany, the Bundesliga, haven't allowed any of these transfers to happen. But then, because we're playing a Liga side, they have. So, again, it's all conspiracy, and all conspiracy with West Ham. There we go. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Let's see what we got some thoughts on from various people. What we got here, Harley's in. Hope you're well, Harley. It's going to be a big summer, but other teams will be looking to ambush our transfers. I think everyone will. Peach in the house is Sinclair said Everton would have to down their DCO asking price down to, I think 35-40 million. I think you reckon you can get him for that. I reckon, but we'll see. Everyone's talking to each other. Lyon have also have the Cameroon striker who knocked Algeria out of the last gasp winner. The big lad, is it? Kouambi from Villarreal. And he's just started scoring again. He's typically just got my tickets for the Arsenal game, says Dennis. Good on you, son. Good on you. Nice to see. Really looking forward to this window. Moyes must know how crucial this. Oh, of course he does. Ross, tell your friends at KUMB April Fool with plans to erect a GSB statue. Is that what Graham's done? I was looking around. I've been trying to done twice today. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Oh, funny. He put 2 stories, looks like, is it? Let's have a look. Yeah. There's 2. There's 2 stories, isn't it? Yeah, he's got another one here. Fans ask for referee retirement contribution. Supporters attending Sunday's game against Everton are asked to contribute towards a retirement gift for Mike Dean. He hangs his boots up at the end of the season. He's been granted a testimonial committee operating under the name Friends of Mike have been granted permission to make collections outside Premier League grounds for this week's fixtures. I like that. That's very good. And then, plans to erect a GSB statue launched. Brilliant. Oh, fair play to him, innit? Fair play. It's a bit of fun, innit? Bit of fun, April. As I said, 2 people at work have tried to do me today, so to speak, and it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked at all. You have to get up very early for me. 5 substitutions next year. Hopefully Moyes will give the youngsters more of an opportunity. That's another thing I was going to talk about. That's what I was going to talk about today. And I saw the Lyon thing. I thought it was a little bit more timely. 5 substitutions in the Premier League next year. Only from 3 opportunities now, because obviously Ladders will be watching. 3 opportunities throughout the game, plus an additional half-time opportunity. So in essence, they can make the substitutions 4 times. They can make it 3 times during the game and 1 time at half-time as well. So does it benefit? It obviously benefits the. It benefits the bigger clubs with the bigger squads. It also may force Moyes' hand slightly. I don't know in terms of squad development, in terms of getting extra squad depth in, because the ability to change a game by bringing on basically five different players is huge. So Yeah, it could be interesting, I think. But obviously, it benefits the likes of Liverpool. But I mean, even Liverpool, you look at his substitutions. I mean, Nigel was saying the other day, yesterday, that the substitutions, you look at that, and the majority of his substitutions are in the last like 5-10 minutes, really, when they're seeing out the game. This just gives them more of an opportunity. It actually doesn't give them any more opportunity because they still have to make three. They can only make them in three. They can't make 5 individual subs. They have to make them 3 times. But it's just the number, isn't it? Good to get back to work. Didn't realise that the network is. Don't they realise the network is on? Unbelievable. Afterwards, soon it'll be 11 subs on the bench, another on the bench. When I started going to West Ham, 96, 667, there was only 1 sub. It'll be like American football, innit? Attack and defence, innit? Should we do a double deal for Charlison? I do like him. UEFA and FIFA ruin football. Just greedy. Just look at them wanting the World Cup every 2 years. Indeed. Sorry, just joined. What's this all about, Lyon? And the title of the video. So basically, Brad, it's to do with Tete. So Lyon have signed Tete from Shakhtar Donetsk, and due to not a loophole, so to speak, but UEFA have. I suppose it was a loophole for FIFA, but UEFA have confirmed that that basically European clubs in the Europa League, the Champions League, and the Conference League can put in an additional 2 players from eligible players from Russia and the Ukraine if they have them in time for the last games. Everyone's talking to each other. Moyes will use 5 subs in the last 5 minutes. Indeed, Pictures, that was a good. It was fun last night. Heard a version of Encanto. We didn't talk about Mike Dean. Can't find anywhere. I've heard the boss name one. The James Corden one. We don't talk about Jada Smith. Yeah, that's quite funny. But Mrs. Bundle had seen it. But she didn't follow. She didn't let me. She didn't send it to me. I sent it to her. She went, I've seen it already. Unbelievable. Tonight we'll have. Not tonight. Tomorrow we'll have the preview. We should do for the Everton game. That'll be up tomorrow. That'll be maybe live, maybe pre-recorded, because it's Anton's daughter's birthday. He's got so many kids now. It's one of their birthday parties. I think I'll be tomorrow. He's trying to sort of work it around. I should have a match day be on for match day morning on Sunday. So we did it last time for the last home game, sort of daytime home game, where we basically did a morning show, a live morning show from outside the stadium, and hopefully we'll do it again on Sunday, so make sure you check that out. The only way you know if I'm definitely doing it, if I've got my arse out of bed, is if you hit the bell notification, so it will say that, oh, match day morning is starting, and then you go, oh, okay, I'll listen to Russ, and then I'll go and do my poo, because that's basically what I do. If we had 10 subs, we would not use them as we not have a big squad. You're totally right. Would anyone give money for a gift for when they're top 6 bankers? Why does the signing cause any issue for next Thursday? Because Brad, it means he'll be able to play. He'll be able to play. And, it's something which, and I think it's not a level playing field, in my opinion, because A, he's a fucking good player, but B, if we were playing a German side, we knew that that's their team, and if they're injured, they've got injuries, so it's utilising a loophole to get them in my opinion, and I think it's the same. Loads of the major leagues across Europe have said no to protect the integrity of their competitions. I know the Premier League said the same thing, Bundesliga, and I think it's League R. I think it's La Liga as well. Have said let them all in. So it's frustrating as well, because obviously they've got some injuries as well, and this has helped them a little bit. So he's a bloody good player as well. 5 subs in 3 seasons. You can't make 5 individual. You can make 4 individuals. No, you can't. Won't make all. No, you can make basically. You can make subs next year in 4 opportunities. So half time. So you can make a substitution at half time, and you can make substitutions in game 3 times in open play, so to speak. So you could do 2 subs in the at the 35th minute. Oh, I don't know, but in the second half, say you bring on 2 new players at half time, then you bring on a new player every 10 minutes in the second half, for example. You could do that. with the five sub rule, do you think we'll put more keepers on the bench? We haven't got any more keepers. Oh, I suppose we could. We could put David Martin on there, couldn't we? And we could put Heggie from the under-23s. But no, we'll see. I reckon you'll have a little bit of change around that goalkeeper position as well. Afternoon, what's your prediction on Sunday against Everton? Oh, we're going to win. We are going to win. We are going to take... I know I can't speak, but Big Fat Frank's going back home, isn't he? Going back up north with his tail between his legs. Hope you're well, Sam. Looking forward to match day morning, Russ, indeed. It just gives you guys a bit of an opportunity to, for those of you who can't get to the games, who are like Peach, halfway across the world, a little bit of, like you feel like you're there. And we may do it on Thursday for the Lyon game. So we may do our the lunchtime show on Thursday from outside the stadium, if I get there in time. But basically we won't have, I don't think there'll be a watch along for the Lyon game, the home leg, because I think Anton's going down as well. So Anton will be there, but we will have a highlight show live afterwards with me and Anton, hopefully, be able to find each other and doing it from outside the ground. So you'll get your things. And also we'll have the Pearly Queens and Pearly Kings. We've got the Irons Point Food Banks will have 3 generations of London Pearlies to collect as sort of bucket shakers. We've got the Pearly Kings of Highgate and Mile End, father and son. And we've got the 9-year-old grandson, the Pearly Prince of Highgate. The Pearly Prince of Bel-Air. Oh no, we don't talk about Jada. And so they'll be there, and then we'll be interviewing them either during the highlight show after the game, or more likely as a separate little interview, because it's a bit of East End tradition, isn't it? The old Pearly Queens and Kings. So we're going to see that. So we can't buy anyone. They won't let us buy it. Premier League won't let us buy anyone, mate. So we can't. West Ham always in the end of cheating sides never win, indeed. Tip of the hat to Gaz, indeed. I saw somewhere that City agreed to deal with Rice. Hopefully it's just a joke. No, ain't going nowhere. Fat Frank will be sacked after Sunday cricket scoring. Oh, he's hoping. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? It's funny because when we had Tony Carr on, and if you haven't seen it, please go and see the Tony Carr interview. It's fantastic. My favourite interview. And as I said, there will be a part 2. Tony enjoyed it so much. He is coming back for a part 2, probably towards the end of the season, if not in the close season. And he said that he actually interviewed Frank when he was for the book, when he was at Derby, and it was in his last week at Derby. And now he's doing a book signing of that book at Westfield, which maybe could be the last week of Frank Lampard at Everton. Who knows? It's a nice cyclical thing, isn't it? I would not be so sure we beat Everton. Did not last year, always with those lose those games. We did, but we need a bounce, don't we? We need a bounce. We need a bounce going into the Lyon game, in my opinion. So I think a lot of players obviously went on international duty. A few guys hung back. So we'll see. Hopefully there will be, we may have Soufal back in time for the Everton game. We may have Bowen back in time for the Everton game. I'll give you the latest news, so to speak. That'll be at 5:00 tonight. I don't think you'll get much change out of Moisey at the press conference in terms of team news about Bowen and Soufal, because particularly Bowen, he's arguably our most dangerous player this season in terms of goals and assists. So he's not going to say, yeah, he's back. He'll say, no, he's not back, and he'll turn up. That's the type of thing that he is. Trust us to be the team, though, that gets embarrassed by Everton. Us for relegation teams. That was us. That was old. I think that was an overhang from previous years, isn't it? We had a few rough games last season, but we'd always put this down we would never put this down as a home banker. Maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. Now maybe, I don't know. What score would you like to see going into? Well, I think a clean sheet. Obviously the lead. Well, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot. Could you imagine if we went in it won't, but if we went in 3-4-0 up, could you imagine? That's the only way you've got to play this. You don't. I'd love the tie to be out of sight by, end of the first game, end of the first leg, but it won't be. But I wouldn't want to concede. I'd want to have at least be 2-0. I think 2-0 would be a good result going in, because it means they would need three goals without a reply in order to go through, or if it's 2 goals obviously without a reply to take us to extra time. And I always see a goal in us, so the chances are they'd have to get 3. So if it was 2-1, we obviously got the 2. So anyway, James the same. We need at least 2 up going into regular. 3-1 says Dennis. I would take 2-0. I wouldn't want us conceding, but we'll see. Don't worry, Fat Frank. If there ever was a game we didn't want us to lose, it would be against us. Expect heroic performances. Still think we'll win, though. I think we will. We're due a dick in 5. Oh, there we go, Peach. Someone is due a dick in. If to be honest, I would prefer it to be. Although I'd love it against Lyon. If it's against Everton, it will really galvanise the fan base ready for that Lyon game, won't it? Man U willing to throw Maguire in a deal for. They can throw it all. Let's win this Europa League. And then he's got Champions League football. Don't have to leave this season. I still don't think there's any chance of him leaving this summer. Although, guarantee if he does, someone's just clipped that. We need to be 3-0 up, says Paul. Got to get past Lyon and hopefully get Barca next round. Being promised a ticket for the Camp Nou. Nice. The Spotify Camp Nou. I was reading today that Spotify, because of their deal with Barcelona, that they're going to be using the shirt sponsorship to advertise brands, new bands and things they want to promote for them. I thought that's pretty cool. Everyone's talking to each other. Cheating frogs. It's not an April Fool's joke, mate. It's not an April Fool's joke. It was. It makes sense. It makes sense. I think I can understand why they're doing it, but I don't agree with it. You watching the World Cup draw? I know it's not to do with West Ham, but it is, because we're going to win the World Cup, and Declan Rice is going to pick. He'll end up being England captain by the end of the season, so he'll be ready to do it. I want USA, Japan, Australia. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's. Pardon me, sorry, the dog got me up at 2 o'clock this morning. I've been all at salt since then. I think, I'll be watching the draw. Obviously, a lot of people being on the channel are out there. Actually, Jack's out there, Jack Mate's out there, and so Spencer. They're both out there as part of a YouTube influencer type things. They've been in Qatar for the last few days. Lucky them. I guarantee it didn't hail or snow there, but they do pay £14 for a can of Guinness. So, yin and yang. Man U would be a mistake if Rice went there. He would do better with us. We're on the up, on the way down. Indeed, particularly as they don't know who the manager's going to be. So it's going to be unsettled until I think. Realistically, to go to someone like Man United, he would need, say, 2 years of, if they got Pochettino, for example, or someone like that, it would need 18 months of him there before, and there's progression. Then you'd probably go. That's how I would see it, but I'm not him. No way Rice to Man U would not sink that low. Rashford and 100 million for Rice, would we do that deal? I think I would, to be honest. Although he's worth a lot more than that, not on paper, but within the club. I think, monetary, 100 million plus Rashford, yeah, but I don't think we'll get that. I don't think they'll do that. Against Everton, Rice gets a goal, Antonio gets a goal, Fornals gets a goal. They all get a goal. That sounds lovely. And hopefully Manu will get a goal if he's back. Agreed, 5-0 would fill us with confidence going into the Lyon game. Even though people would love to see West Ham versus Barcelona, don't rule out Frankfurt. And there is still that sort of, although Barcelona's the glamour type, Frankfurt for the hardened West Ham fans, obviously it harks back to a bygone era. Eintracht Frankfurt, the fantastic game people still speak about from back in the day, so to speak, as Nigel Carr would say. There is that sort of nice symbiotic thing there, and so we still have that sort of, there is that sort of history between us. There's no history between us and Barcelona, and Barcelona would be a spectacle rather than sort of a historical thing. So I can see both. I'd like, I'm not counting my chickens, and I think Lyon are going to be just as hard as getting past them as Sevilla. I mean, they played bloody well last. To knock out Porto, who were undefeated at the time in the Premier Liga. Then they're no mugs. Lyon are no mugs, mate. So we need to get past them first. Rice, Bone and Lingard playing the World Cup. We win it. Exactly, 3 players. Ben Johnson. Maybe Ben can get a run into the squad. Who knows? I think it's going to be Frankfurt. There we go. What's mental is we have not one player at the World Cup. What's mental is we may not have one player at the World Cup as summer transfer could destroy us. Could do. Yeah, you're right, because obviously Souček's side didn't get through. Jamaica didn't get through. Poland, Fabianski's retired from there now. I mean, obviously Declan's in there. But yeah, you're right, Algeria didn't qualify. Yeah, shit. Croatia, if Vlasic doesn't go. But yeah, interesting. Good point, Just Brad. I'm with Peach. Barcelona are great, capable of cock-ups. I fancy Frankfurt to worry them. I think it's not a foregone conclusion there. I can see the players taking their eyes off the ball on Sunday. Think about Thursday, 1-0 to Everton. Hope I'm wrong. I can see a bit of both. I can see people. Some people maybe taking their eye off the ball, but others going, actually, good performance here. I could be playing. Afternoon, Rich. Happy birthday. Rich's birthday was 21 again recently, so happy birthday to Rich. Sunday, Frank Hurt, and then after Leon, Frank Furt. Very good, James. Very, very good. 76. It was in 76. And we hope to have a West Ham player from that era next week, hopefully. So I'm just waiting for him to confirm, so that'd be nice. Doing a live My Hammers 11. He hasn't done a My Hammers 11, so hopefully we'll get him on. And then we'll get opportunity for you to ask questions as always. Areola, he was in the squad last week's, but then didn't play, if I remember. But maybe Leonard like Frankfurt. I would like Barcelona, to be honest, because that's the glamour tie in it, and I think Frankfurt is it's okay place to get to, but it's easy to get to, and so is Barcelona, very easy to get to. But it's their fans, isn't it? They've got and everything that happened at Seville. We want that happen again, really. Why would Rice go back to Chelsea when they rejected him? They say never go back. Different time now, isn't it? Different time now, man. But we'll see. Canada looked good against Jamaica. They certainly did. I don't think 100 million Rashford would cut it without money. I doubt money be wisely invested. Moyes ain't done a bad job with his transfers, has he, Jay? Is he really? Apart from maybe Hugo, I think they've all been all right, haven't they? Hugo was obviously a strange one, but everything else has come around all right. I think Moyes should put the youth out Sunday. Thursday's a big game. I'm inclined to agree, Stephen. I'm inclined to agree. I'm inclined to give some players some minutes. For me, the players who haven't played internationals, I'd give them some minutes. Because, as we said, we spoke to Tony on Wednesday. We spoke about Tony Carr. We spoke about the international break, and he hated it because it was disruptive. People wouldn't necessarily come in and, they'd be doing training, but not to intensity. So there may be a little bit of ring rust. But don't forget, we always come back from a break, and that first half is always really poor. Always really poor. Whether it's a break or a lack of games, we've gone a distance without playing any games or international breaks. We always play that first 30 minutes, that first 45, 30 minutes really poorly. So I wouldn't mind seeing a few of the first team maybe there just to get that ring rust out, playing together. But we'll see. Hi, Richard. It's back to proper football, mate. Proper football. None of this international crap. What we got here? Everybody's wishing Rich happy birthday. Was it Wednesday? I want to say Wednesday, Rich. Do you think we'll get more players now the fight has been? Paul Judge, that's one point we were saying. I think, it might, I know Moyes likes his little squads. The fact is, if this is now a permanent deal, in terms of 5 substitutions for the Premier League in each game, with obviously nine players on the bench, it does open up the debate for Moyes in a change of mentality. So it's about those 9 on the bench. You've got the ability to bring on 5 players now who could change the game. Now, teams like Man United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, they've got the squads to cope with that. then so yeah, that to me is fine for them. But the teams like West Ham and Spurs and Arsenal and sort of that Wolves, that sort of next level down, it's an opportunity. It's a need to improve the quality of the squad in terms of quality and quantity as well. So this summer's going to be huge. Where before we were looking at, I'd say at least a minimum. I still think a minimum of 3 players coming in is needed for sure, and that's just to improve the first team squad. Really, I'd suggest a left back, a centre back, and a forward, and actually 4. I'd say even 4 really, but as a midfield player as well, a central midfield player. I think you'll also see a lot more. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday on Hammer's headlines, with Moyes keeping a keen eye on the development of Ashby and Perkins. Both of them I could see making more of an impact next season. That might be one of the reasons why they might let Ryan Fredericks go from the right back side, in that would free up that spot for Ashby to play for the first team. As and when required, and maybe Yarmolenko to not have his contract renewal potentially, and maybe Sonny Perkins taking that role. So where it would be the Yarma would come on, so to speak, it would be slightly different there. I don't know. That's just my opinion. They're going to airlift Big Fat Frank into the stadium, give players a rest. We will not make top 6 with too many teams. 5 only subs help big teams, not us. Apparently, you were 21. You were 22, not 21. If Yarma continues his form, does DM keep him? Who knows, mate? Going through a purple patch, isn't he, my friends? He's going through a purple patch. And as Pete says, there's a big summer season to go in terms of transfer windows. So, yeah, there's lots of free transfers. There's going to be a lot of movement. Hi Russ, are you worried at all about the summer transfer window? Our squad is already thin. We have Noble retiring, Kroll going, and we have quite a few players that are 30, plus. I am a little bit worried. I'll be honest. I am a little bit worried. In that, let me just check. If someone just texts me, I've never seen. Who's that person? Sorry, I've just got a random phone number. I'm just checking that's the one I've just been missed. No, it's someone different. I think we're going to talk about that later on, actually, at 5 o'clock, about the midfield side as well. The midfield, I think I'm very worried about. And obviously there's opportunity for maybe Connor Coventry, potentially. And we'll talk about that at 5 o'clock tonight. Big boos or big cheers. Do you know what? Like, as a player, and Tony Carr said it on Wednesday, he hopes Frank gets a decent he won't do because he's Frank, but in terms of in terms of him as a player, I mean, it's all funny and it's all over the place. Any news on Lanzini car crash? Apparently he's all right. Apparently he's fine, mate. He walked away, so we'll see what happens. Is there any truth that he did have a car crash? His Mercedes, he turned it on the way to on the A12 on the way to Rush Green and walked away apparently unharmed. So that's what news reports say. My report said he was rushed to hospital, but everyone else said he walked away unharmed, and I'm sure we'd find out if that was really the case. Massive summer for us. We can see a few players coming in. We trust in Moyes indeed. I heard we're in for Cullen. We'll talk about that at 5 o'clock. In relation, I had a 1 in 1 out idea, which I've just sort of put by people. Booze will spur Frank on, so no cheers or booze from me. There we go, lads. Buy it. Some or all 3 players will sign new contracts. We'll see. Yo, Pete is in the house. Pete is here. For anyone who don't know Pete is he's the match day DJ at the Gooners. So we're like my little broski. He's not little. He's a big lad. He's like me. He's like a big lad. But anyway, he's not as big as me at all. Physically sized, but nice to see Pete. Hope you're well, my friend. I hope we will play commentary. He's smashing it. He's also, I think, isn't he the highest? Where's my notes? He's the second highest Republic. He's the second highest capped Republic of Ireland under 21 international in history in terms of Connor Coventry. So we'll see what happens. But there's rumours of Josh Cullen coming back and Moyes keeping an eye on his development. Anderlecht, he's doing great things over there. So he, in terms of understanding the system, Cullen will understand the system, but so would Coventry. So we'll see. We'll see. Peter Jones, good afternoon to you. Right, people, as I said, what's his Peter? I'm praying you, how are we, Hammers? I'm praying you win the Europa League. Barca, indeed. Barca who? Do you really want us to win the Europa League, Pete? Because would that really fuck up your top four in terms of Champions League? I don't know. It's a bit dodgy, innit? I don't really understand how it all works. But there's 5 places, and if the team that wins it goes out of the top 4, then whoever finished 4th wouldn't get into Europe. Wouldn't get into the Champions League and would go into the Europa League because only max of 5 places per country. I don't know. All right, Gaz. Watched Russ for a bit recently. Thought I'd drop comments. Cheers, Porge. Cheers, mate. We're here all the time. Yeah, we can, but I think because the way the top 4 is changing every 5 seconds, if one of the top 4 falls out and wins the Champions League, and then there is a permutation where 4th place doesn't make Champions League. I appreciate it, Porge, mate. Appreciate it. We've got loads more coming out, mate. It's all good in the hood. As I said, we'll be back at 5 o'clock to do the Hammers headlines. Make sure you check it out. Some good stories. I would say that because I want you to watch it. We'll have probably the press conference coverage. We'll see if Anton's around. And then we'll have previews for the Everton game on tomorrow probably. And then we'll have match day morning live from the stadium. Bang on, like probably about 8:30ish if I get up in time. At London Stadium, and then we'll have the watch-alongs, the highlight shows. We'll be interviewing all the pearly kings and queens of Highgate and Mile End and all stuff. Loads of stuff, mate. Loads of stuff, and then we start all again next week in the run up to the Lyon game. Loads of stuff coming up, and we're, as I said, we've got an exclusive interview with Julian Dicks, which was recorded a few years ago. Martin's got it. He never actually put it out, but it's like a 2-hour long interview with Julian. So we'll try and put that out in the next week or so. We've also, for anyone who remembers, we on my old channel, I did think it was the Noble Era, where we put together everyone who played, who Mark played with at West Ham during his 18 years at the club. Right, it was 17 years at the club. We're doing that again in one big video. Every player that Mark Noble has played with during his time at West Ham. Yeah, I've got to find some time. We'll probably do a pre-record because everyone will be mentioning it. We'll probably do a pre-record and then make it and then put it out live, if that makes sense. And then you can all comment about your thoughts about Mark and certain players. And otherwise, I'll be here all night doing it. So we might do a pre-record of that because about 200 I've got to get through. Not a lot has been mentioned about Haller's performance. He played like West Ham Haller, didn't he? Really? He's back in the UK and played like West Ham Haller. He certainly did. I never sleep, man. I can't. I'm not allowed to. And if I do, my dog wakes me up. So Bella let me up at 2. Oh, she's at the moment, mate. 2 hours. It's ridiculous. Looking forward to the run up to Lyon. Great show. Make members only. No. Members only. In terms of members only stuff, we are doing some really cool sort of monthly raffles. So by literally becoming a member, it's almost like a raffle ticket each month. So they'll be starting next week. They'll be starting probably next week. We'll do the first raffle. And so that will be for a West Ham squad signed shirt. So we'll be one lucky member will win that. So what we'll do is we'll say up until a certain point. So up until maybe the day before. If you've become a member, if you've not renewed, that's sort of the cut-off point. We take the list and that's what's used. And so if you want to get involved, I think it's from a couple of quid all the way up to, I think it's 2 tiers. Check out the join button and we can put that together. And it's like a raffle ticket, basically. And we'll be doing that every month. Every month we've got some really cool signed stuff, which we'll be sending and giving to you guys for anyone who basically becomes a channel member. Yeah, as a thank you. We might put the Julian. We may. Oh no, maybe we'll see. Anyway, guys, I've got to go because I'm due to have some fence panels. This is the high life. This is the high style life I live. I'm waiting for some fence panels being delivered. How exciting for everyone. But we'll be back here throughout the week. Actually, we are on every day, I think, in April. Because of the way the games have been, the way the games fall, and obviously with the previews and the Hammers headlines and the dailies, we are on every day in April, myself and Anton. So keep an eye out. So you'll be well fucking bored of us by the time we get to May. You'll be thankful of the summer break, and it's not even that long as well, because the season starts a few weeks earlier as well. So there we go. So as I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Some great new names in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to become a channel member, hit the channel join button here and become a channel member. I think it starts from like $2.99 or something like that. $1.99, $2.99, something, I don't know. And as always, I'd like to take all my channel members, all the channel members after every one of my shows. So take care, stay healthy, stay lucky, and I'll see you guys definitely on Sunday, hopefully. Take care, much love, bye.
It's like a family tree.